With every dream comes hard work, and chasing that dream is worth every feeling's hurt. So if I somehow offended you, man, fuck it. Cause it's game time and I'm out here trying to score a bucket. A man can only hold another man down for so long. That man's words can only be so strong. We progress. This is
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is JH. How y'all doing, Postal family? Is everybody good? Is everybody cool? Everybody clean? Are you crisp? Are you feeling irie today? Let's talk, shall we? Let's make one thing perfectly clear. I love the Postal Service. I have literally bled for this place. I have had to have surgery because of this place. I have defended it. When the politicians trash this place, I have cheered for carriers that have walked through blizzards and clerks who break their back all through the midnight shift. But that does not mean blind loyalty. If you'd like pretty lies, go watch some corporate training videos. If you want the ugly truth, continue to watch me. Because I love the United States Postal Service. The United States Postal Service, though, is being hijacked by fraudsters that milk the system, by managers who enable the system, by a culture that rewards bitching instead of fixing. I've made plenty of videos praising this job, telling people, come on, come get this shmoney. Y'all remember that term if you've been with me for a while, come get that shmoney. But right now, the ship is sinking. And if people would rather polish the deck chairs and patch the holes instead of fixing the ship, you are part of the problem. These videos are not about hating the post office. This is about saving the post office. And it starts by dragging the bullshit into the light, no matter who it pisses off. The Postal Service is bleeding billions of dollars. There are routes that are being cut. The morale is in the gutter. Everyone blames management and politicians. There's a cancer eating us from the inside. There's workers that have so much fraud, fake injuries, bogus FMLA claims, games that screw the honest employee. And today we're going to expose the trash and how to fix it. A person, a manager, I'm assuming the person was retired. I'm not sure if it was a postmaster, but they left a comment on my video. And I want to break down that retired manager's comment. It was so graceful. It was so graceful. It was by J.C. Swift. The Postal Service is an awful place to work for management and craft. That's what the manager said. This is not about who suffers more contest, because both sides are drowning. But fraud makes it worse. Management tightens screws when workers resent them for it. When you have a fraudster continually, exposing the system, not exposing it, but abusing the system, something that I emphasize when I give you all the tools, do not abuse the tools, utilize the tools, but don't abuse the tools. All the complaining, he says, will be gone and for nothing if the Postal Service is not here in 5 years. The fact is that the United States Postal Service lost, $6.5 billion last year? And the fraudulent claims cost the United States Postal Service $1 billion annually. OWCP abuse. Every fake claim is a bullet in our coffin. Gotta understand that. My man he refuses to talk too much, but you hear him all the time. He got a situation where it was a manager at his station that was caught skiing while supposed to be out on workers' comp. But She got her pictures all up on the Facebook, and they still bring her back. It's shit like that. Only the people that can save the United States Postal Service are you, this manager says. Stop waiting for the politicians. Y'all need to clean the house now. Everyone says start at the top. I'll also say it as well. But the fraud domino effect, a fake OWC claim equals felony charges when they get caught. I've showed you guys video clips. There was a person that was retired, I believe, for 3 or 4 years when OIG decided to run up on that man or woman, I can't remember what it was, after they were retired. And the person got felony. Lying on a federal OWC form is equal to wire fraud up to 20 years in prison. There was a 2022 case. A Philly carrier was jailed for 18 months after posting gym photos while claiming to be on total disability. See, a lot of the shit we do to ourselves. OIG investigations spiked 300% since 2020, which means they are watching. How it screws you. Legit injuries get denied because everyone seems to lie. Our premium skyrockets, the paychecks are shrinking. One of my buddies, he just went back to work, but he had a legitimate claim. Hurt his shoulder, opening up and down the door. But there's a bunch of fake FMLA abuse as well. My anxiety acts up every Friday, but you're fine for the weekend concert. Then you get caught. Then it's termination. Then you got to repay all that stuff. In 2023, the OIG reported 1 in 5 FMLA cases had red flags. But here's the part that's going to probably bother everybody. And I had to look at things from a different perspective after cursing out management yesterday, but we just as bad. I want y'all to think about construction workers. I want y'all to think about, I watch videos about how the earth is built and how mega projects occur and how they drill for oil and rigging. And I was watching this video, and the video has to do with where they bore tunnels. And I kept looking, and you can look it up on YouTube as well, boring tunnels. The tunnel was going from, I believe, from England to France. There was not one woman that was down there. And I'm not saying that because it's men versus women, but the stuff that they went through, the people that are dying. But do you think that those people never smashed their thumb, tripped or slipped, and bumped their elbow? In construction, if you smash your thumb, and I remember I was a household mover, I would tear my fingers up, smash my elbows, drop shit on my feet. I'd tape my damn thumb up with moving tape, finish the job. USPS, you get a paper cut, I need 8 weeks of light duty. They slip and they scrape their hand. Oh no, they are off. And talk to me, man. Tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm lying. You see this right here? I don't know if anybody paid attention to this, but I used to household move furniture for a living. I told a story about 4 or 5 years ago where a glass tabletop severed my arm to the bone. Right there. You see it? You see it? Yes, severed it to the bone. I had to have 18 hours of surgery. I was dead on the table. I had pictures and everything. And I lived through that. And I was trying to get right back to work. About a year later, they told me I wouldn't be able to work for 5 years. But this is a legitimate injury. I could be collecting disability benefits. Right now to this day, I have no feeling in my fingertips. But I'm out here busting my ass. But what I'm seeing is that people are starting to work and they're using this system and abusing this system. We got some soft pussy ass workers nowadays. Now, I'm not saying that all y'all is not real when you get your claims, but people, these are grown ass men. These are grown ass women. People that slip on ice, but they need the year off because they slipped on ice, as if they didn't live in the same neighborhood. They didn't live in the same circumstances for the last 30 years of their life, like you've never slipped before. You've never fallen in your driveway while you're shoveling. I lived in New York and I used to walk down the street, and if there was an ice patch and I slip, you see this shit all the time. You slip and you fall, you're in front of the bodega, wepa, boom, fall on your ass, you get embarrassed, you get up, rub your butt cheek, and you keep it moving. But now, the OWCP, you know what the fuck I'm talking about. Those claims are out the roof. And the domino effect, it's affecting us. People can't get a paper cut. People bump their elbow. Now, again, I'm no doctor, but what they do now is they have doctors that are aligned with the damn workers' comp, and they make sure they're going to get paid somehow, some way. This is where your domino effect occurs. And how do you fix that? Y'all need to start shaming the game players. It ain't my place. I don't want to get involved. Then you part of the problem. Dog, come on now. Snitching isn't betrayal. It's saving your job. A St. Louis worker exposed a clerk faking back injuries. It saved the post office $250,000 in bogus claims. That clerk was let go eventually. They hired somebody else that was in there, and the other person did the work. They didn't need to continue to call somebody in to cover that other clerk that faked that injury, because the stuff costs money. And so when management pushed their thumb down and say, man, y'all cutting it up, we created this domino effect. Now, it does not justify them sitting there thinking they could talk to anybody any kind of way, because that's not the case. And we're going to talk about the union, because the union must stop defending provable fraud, because some of them be in it. Some of them be in. They utilize the system. Management must stop rubber stamping shady claims. And when they try to, then all of a sudden they become the enemy. And what happens is they have people in the same department that I work at that scrutinizes every single claim that comes their way. There's a mail handler. He is now in, I don't want to get too deep into it, because if I describe him too much, his people might know who he is. But he works in that department and they see everything coming. He warned me about a year and a half ago about people that are going to be starting to get investigated because it's costing so much money. The Postal Service was built on grit, not scams, not excuses. Every single fake claim steals money from a single mom that's actually working. It doubles to keep her route. She got to sit there and do extra work. Every lie gives ammo to the politicians to try to privatize us, because we have more workers' comp claims than every other delivery company. Every single person has to understand this individual, this retired manager, was right. We need to save the USPS, but that means cutting the bullshit. Be a worker that earns respect, or get the hell out the way. I can't understand. I understand as we get older, but I can't understand how grown people abuse the system. There are people that know how to abuse the system. And I know I'm extremely harsh when it comes down to management and how they talk to people, but they're not trained properly on how to address people. We've already established that. But a lot of us are home trained. And we're also very well knowledgeable or very well influenced by other people that say, hey, man, you fell at the job? Shit, you better go take 2, 3, 4. Man, you get 45 days. That's the infamous word. I heard them joking about that when I was a worker. 45 days? Hit me with that, man. Just tap it with me. I need that 45 days. Fuck. Really? This is what they teach each other. Instead of teaching each other, let's grind together. Let's grind together. So when my man was at the bathroom yesterday, that supervisor, she ain't shit. Still say she ain't shit. But if she had been around long enough, I might have gave her some credit. But I know for a fact, at my plant, they got to go hunting people down because they sleeping in the locker room. I said it. Now, you got workers sleeping in the locker room when they're supposed to be out there working. No, they ain't on their damn break. They disappear. They go in the locker room. They go in their cars. They go fooling the. They're not doing their work, which does what? A is going to slow down the mail. It's going to slow down the process. It gives more mail to the other people to do. It gives more work for other workers that are just trying to work at a steady pace. There is a root cause for everything. So before the managers become like that, you got to remember they were craft employees. Y'all say it, you know it. They were craft employees. You can say, oh, they were horrible craft employees. They could have been. That's just an assumption. We got really good managers out there. There are a lot of people that say, hey, I don't have the problem in my station. I don't. And they need more stations that are like that. And it's not because their management is soft. Their management has figured out a way to work with the employees and still fulfill all the obligations that is required of them. They also figured out a way that if all their workers are there and they want to come to work and they all work at the steady pace, not a rushed pace, but a steady pace, they all achieve the same goal, get the job done. Do you know why construction workers can't sit there and say, oh, well, I banged my finger with the hammer and they call off for 4 months? Because they all got a common goal. They want to get the job done. That is not the case here at the United States Postal Service. It is not. You know who wants to get the job done? The people that are sitting up top. They want the job done. They also have some unrealistic expectations, but the trickle-down effect is put pressure on the managers that are below them. The managers that are below them, they barely have lives. They get talked to like shit. I've listened to some of those telecoms and the way these other managers talk to each other. I have no idea who the hell they think they are, but that's where it stems from. They talk to each other like that. The ones that sit at they talk to each other like they're trash, and then it translates right down to the workers themselves. They really need to do a full clean house of this place. And I mean that. I so mean that. This is the only place that's so dysfunctional and it's such an easy job. Move mail. That's it. Move mail. There's so many other tiny little factors, but the bottom line is move mail. If everybody worked together versus working against each other and pointing fingers, this starts from up top. Hey, you know what, manager? I got faith that you're going to make this happen. Manager to his employees or supervisors. Look, I got faith you're going to make this happen. Supervisor to the workers. Look, y'all were hired here. You've been here for 2 years. You've been here for 20 years. We got heavy mail a day. I know what I've delivered mail for 15 years. I know what it should take. Please do your best to do your best today. That's all I can ask you. Be safe, do your best. Please don't play games. Don't put me in a situation where I got to pull up a geo tracker and see that no, you're not just going to take a shit. You're going to take a shit and go get your nails done. And that's not your break time. You're going to take a shit and then go meet up with all the other carriers and go sit down at a sit-down restaurant to have lunch and then complain that you need overtime. Don't cause that domino effect. Please don't cause that domino effect, because now you've abused the system. You have raised the red flag for management and their managers to say, yo, what's really popping at your place? Manager one, why is it that every week you're going over on your hours, but your employees are not delivering more mail? Why is it? There was no situation with the weather. Why is it? And then they got to answer questions when they come out there. Come on, guys, why y'all doing? Now you are contributing to that manager saying, look, it's either my job or your job. Please don't put me in a situation where I got to write you up. And then sometimes you got those wise ass employees like, nah, I ain't gonna do shit. I'm gonna just roll in my pace. I don't give a fuck. And then you turn a good manager into a bad manager. I've seen it happen. I've witnessed it. There's always three sides to a story. Your sides, their sides, and the truth. And the truth of the matter is this place can work together. But we got a lot of foolery going on. And a lot of it has to do with the way the workers don't work. They don't. So, then you got a lot of workers that try to work, But then they got this culture of, I'm not going to snitch on nobody. I'm not telling nobody. I don't see nothing. I don't see nothing. I don't see nothing. Man, fuck that. If that's going to help your operation, you better tell, yo, I'm on this machine here for the last 2 hours. It's me, Jim, and Gel. Oh, I just made that name up, Gel. I just made a name up, Gel. We supposed to have 6 people over here. There's only 4 of us. The other 2 is out there in the car. Really was popping, man. Nah, man. Look, I'm not going to work harder because 2 other employees are outside playing around in the car smoking weed. No, don't rush me, Mr. Manager or Mrs. Manager. Do your due diligence and go handle them outside, because I cannot overexert myself because somebody else is outside fucking up. Suspend them. If they're not here and you have other people in here, great. I said it, suspend them. Go through the process of elimination, the process of discipline. Warning, hey, you guys were out well, they ain't supposed to be outside fucking smoking weed. I say fire them monkey ass. But you got to go through the process of discipline. Tell them that, make sure that they know that they did shit wrong. Because they're causing good managers to go bad. Remember, these good managers or these bad managers were craft employees at one time. They came in together. Y'all have started working with some of these people when they first started. And I hear it all the time, man. They weren't like this when they were craft employees. They got into management and all of a sudden they turned into assholes. Why do you think that is? So here's the thing, man. I know that whoever was pretty upset with my tone yesterday. I don't really care, like I said in the beginning, but I've dealt with it. I've had to step up before. I was up there before, and I had to deal with my own people. I'm the same person that was driving a truck yesterday. Now I'm sitting in the office and now I'm the enemy. No. Don't play the games with me. Don't play those games with me. It's hard when you're sitting in that seat behind the desk and you're just not sitting behind the desk like this individual said. True supervisors are not sitting behind the desk. They're usually hands-on. True managers are not just sitting behind the desk. They're usually hands-on. They have other duties. And if you had to sit on the other side of the desk, you would understand. And a lot of you would say, hey, we're the best because we carriers, we the best. I promise you, no carrier, not one, would switch places overnight and do what a mail handler does. You wouldn't do what a clerk does when they got to work from 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. Everybody has their trials and tribulations, so let's not say that we're better than, because you may work harder in your circumstance than they do, but it's harder overall in their life because they're away from their family overnight. If you got a 25-year-old single father or single mother that is working overnight, they got to do the same thing. They got to get babysitting to watch the child overnight. The reason they want to work overnight is because they get that night differential. There's so many factors into it. There's so many factors on how we could come together to change this culture. But it would take, number 1, management. Number 2, the unions. Number 3, the workers to all be on the same page. And workers, you cannot go into a negotiation on how to make shit work if you already got a stank ass attitude. That's not who you want to go in there. You cannot do that. You got to be level-headed. Now, I know I work people up. That's my thing, to work people up. That's to bring information to the forefront. But when you step in there and you have to sit down and talk to management, I don't walk into manager's office and curse them out. No, I can sit there and reason with the manager. Okay, I understand your perspective, understand my perspective. Now look at the worker's perspective. Let's see how we can figure this out together. Oh, okay, now I understand what you're looking for. But what's happening on this side is this. Okay, can we figure this out to make this route easier? All right, cool. Let's make it happen. Now, I know you're going to have some issues when you speak to your boss, but this is the facts. There it is. See how that is? If there was enough people that wanted to go in and actually start changing the culture in a positive light, I'd have no content. But who's qualified to do that? A lot of you are, but a lot of you refuse to step into that supervisor role because you're worried about what your peers would think about you. A lot of you are gifted to step into that supervisor's role. You don't have that malice. You don't have that ill intention. You want to see this place work better, but you're worried about what they would think about you. You know, I always worry about what everybody, I don't give two rats ass what anybody thinks about me. I got two people that I answer to. Number one is God, and number two is my seeds, which are my legacies. That's right, my legacies, my children. That's who I worry about. I don't care what no one else thinks. I know that I'm going to go and do the best I can at whatever I put my mind to. And that's what you should be doing. You don't need to be answering to everybody else. And if you feel like you have a better way and you feel like maybe you can get through, then you should be stepping up. You should be getting in there. Regardless of what anybody else says, you should be getting in there to see if you can help make a change. Infiltrate it from within and help bring this place back or to a better place. Because if we don't, like that gentleman said in his comment, this place is doomed. We won't have a place to come to and bitch about in 5 years. I respect this comment, and I'm hoping y'all pause to read his comment from beginning to end. I hope this message translates correctly to people. And if you're offended, we go, oh, Jay, well, you know, injury and stuff like that. Look, legitimate injuries, handle your business. Bullshit injuries, they're going to get you. End the story. And they need to fire you. Bullshitting, they need to fire you. Because you're fucking it up for the rest of us. This is JH, and I'm out.